the hell? Oh my god, he had a bomb on him.
There must be some mechanism to cross this chasm. Look for a control panel or switch.
Oops. Damn it! They didn't even show me, dang it. And what I think of it? Yeah, let's just say I am a fan. I know it's a little dusty, I haven't cleaned it up. I literally... Quick cover! Reversal! Oh my god, the retro ball's got on a roll up! Ontario just couldn't get out of that cover!
Oh,
Super kick!
let go! Let go!
Third!
Let go!
Super kick party! Yeah, pay the money for that.
No.
They seem to be really feeling the
There we go! Let's go! Let's go! No doubt! Over the foul pole! Let's go! I'm getting notes here and notes there and notes. Stimulation is the key word here. Lots of stimulation. Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday night edition of the AEW Collision Sidecast. Welcome to everybody. Good to see you all here. Whether you've been here for a bit or just popping in now. Yeah, we did have a little bit of tech issues to start, so I did reboot the stream before we got going here. So rebooting the computer. There's a whole bunch of updates that happen in between streams. So unfortunately, things happen. So yeah, we're back up. We're raring to go. And this has the makings of a pretty epic show tonight, if you look at it, because, well, let's face it. AEW's going up against TNA tonight. It's SummerSlam week. They're in Detroit with a raucous crowd like they had last night. Here's some crazy stuff that I'm thinking. And feel free, chat. Feel free to throw in your thoughts and feelings on it. Motor City Machine Guns back up Hangman Adam Page. And it ends up being Page and the Demand. Page and the MCMG taking on the Demand at All In for the Trios titles. Or even next week in Mexico. We very well could see that next week. So, either way, I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Sorry, I keep looking back just to make sure everything's working here now, because, like I said, we had a little bit of issue earlier here that basically everything just dipped. But I think it's because my computer was trying to do updates that I didn't want it to do. And it didn't tell me that it was going to do updates, so therefore it's going to do its updates. But yeah, we should have a lot of fun here tonight. Detroit was absolutely hopping last night. And I don't expect anything different tonight. I don't know if the crowd's going to... Here's the thing. The crowd does talk a little bit about... there is a little bit of talk about the crowd of Collision not being what it is compared to Dynamite. This is a night where you possibly could have that changed. And I think that might be a way we go here. As there is a possibility that we could really crank things up here tonight for heading towards All In. And like I said, one of the big factors as far as I'm concerned is the fact that they literally are running TNA tonight. at the same time. TNA in Philly, AEW in Detroit. And I expect chaos all the way around for both sides. So, the only matches they've officially announced tonight are the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Riders. And then, as well, they announced Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia. So the other 4 members of the Death Riders are going to be taking on the Bang Bang Gang. We're also getting, they announced it late here, Commander versus... What the fuck already? Let's just blow the roof off the place 2 minutes into the show. Let's go! Where's Nats when you need him? Oh, here we go. Guess who showed up, folks? Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, if you want to do it, this is how you do it. You turn them in on the Thursday so nobody's talking about yesterday, today, and now you're talking about today for the rest of the week. Let's flip and go. As long as they don't use the in front of it, I think that's where they're going to be. Let's freaking go. There's no hiding it. There's no spying it. There's no hiding it. There's nothing going to it. DLW, how you doing tonight? Let's go. Everybody's standing. Everybody's going nuts. Somebody find Nats right now. Because he's going to have a heart attack right now when he sees this. Just throwing the business has definitely picked up. Oh, God. Could you imagine them doing a double pop tonight? But this is nuts. And you can tell they're from TNA because they don't know where the hard cam is. Because the hard cam's actually facing towards the curtain. But they're going to start doing their promo towards the crowd. Let's freaking go. AEW's just stacked, packed, and racked right now. Now get Cope and Christian out here just to throw things into another gear. They didn't watch the show last night? Well, let's put it this way. This might be one to top up stuff. But this is very smart on TK's part, and we'll get into it after they finish speaking. Oh, I love this. I love this. By the way, good to see you, DLW. Modern civilization. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just Saban sponsored by your favorite tag team, PJC. I'm taking you got my message on Blue Sky. Oh, let's flip and go. This is, like I said, this is a very smart move. Very smart move on behalf of TK. I'm just going to rub it in the Nats a little bit since he got in here a little late. I love the fact that Shelly's sponsored by Canon. I have an Elgato camera, but I've had plenty of Canons before. Of course, not just these two. All Elite. Let's flippin' go! Booyah! And they literally put the, all right, show's done, we're good. Put the nice little graphic on the bottom saying we're done. DLW, thank you for the 3-stream streak. I appreciate you. All the graphic rated behind them, attaboy. Now, do they bring anybody else out with them, or do they just literally just say, yeah, we're here, we'll see you next time? And we got Paul White on commentary. Let's just add to the fun. So no Excalibur. We got Paul White and Nigel McGuinness. So this could be interesting. I actually prefer this a little bit. The fact that Excalibur, you know, when he doesn't have everything going the right way, he sort of flubs it up a little bit. Well, of course you're going to have announcements for that because it's the time. By the way, there was a challenge put out for tonight for the Trios title, so we might actually have a change again. Nats, the reason I said that, and I will be fully transparent about the reason I said they wouldn't debut, is I thought they were doing a double taping yesterday when I said that. They're doing 2 live shows? Fuck that. They're coming tonight, and it's actually very smart that TK did this. So the reason you make it smart is because if they did it yesterday, all they're going to be talking about today is what's happening yesterday. Instead, now they could talk about this for the next 5 days. And, well, this is our Darby winning the world title moment. Because, you know, nobody expected that. Now everybody's talking about it all week, and nobody want to talk about Mania. By the way, Nats, I'm assuming you tripped over yourself to get over here when you got my little post on X, I'm guessing. Good to see you here, though. I just had to throw it out there because this was just... I like the fact they did it early. Get it out of the way. Don't have to worry about it. Because the crowning moment will be at the end of the show tonight. They might have the title for a day. Could you imagine 24 hours flipping the titles again? And yeah, DLW, to your point, Excalibur and Shivani are better apart than together. I don't mind them together on Dynamite, but for 4 hours a week, I'd like to have Shivani have a little bit of a difference. As long as Shivani can keep up with it. And having 2 guys like White and Nigel as backup for him. Nigel, who does an absolute amazing job. And prove that throughout NXT Europe as well. Or NXT UK, whatever you want to call it. And Paul White, like, his time during Dark was absolutely fantastic. But my God, what a way to start the show, folks. Just one simple all-elite graphic. Hey guys, we're here. Be excited. It's going to be a fun night of wrestling. Could you imagine if they just come back out at the end of the night? Yeah, we're taking the trios titles now. I love how literally Tony Khan comes out and says there's a lot of competition at AEW. We have to be very considerate about who we sign. This is signing season for AEW. Because let's face it, we're going to have a few more debuts. Oh, God. White with his humor. I love this. Things are fighting up already for tonight, and I love this. And once again, a lot of tag matches, a lot of trios matches. Like, we got the trios title to open the show. Like I said, we're probably going to have the Death Riders versus the Oh, God. Hey, Homer, good to see you again. I don't think it's going to be that much Arita season here. Imagine you saw, yeah, the New Day video got me in a lot of ways there, but it also tells me that they know what they're doing. I got a feeling they already know where they're going, and the fact that they know they're going together, that's the other thing that showed me. Because let's face it, why don't we get, instead of people trying to put them in the tag title match, why not get the Machine Guns versus the New Day? As someone who needs to buy more shampoo this weekend, I guess that's true. No, what did you guys think of the New Day video? And what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to show... Could they show up in Mexico? I love how Bishop's like, what are you doing, moron? Get on the cover. Even though Ricochet is technically the leader. I think I read like a long time ago, Kofi had no interest in wrestling without Woods around and would have retired already if New Day wasn't. Yeah. And that's absolutely true. It's that same interview they did, or that same podcast they did, with the most famous line from New Day ever, coming out of Big E, which spawned a brand new generation of wrestlers here. It was that same interview as the Big Meaty Man Slapping Meat interview there that they did. I love how people are just trapped. Why'd you do this on Collision? Why not? Everybody who misses out on Collision here is definitely missing out. Talking about the most same Machine Guns debut. Yes, they're not in the best spot in the world. Saturday night is a shizen spot. But tonight, I'll guarantee you, this took away a lot from... a lot of people that are watching TNA are just... They aren't watching it now. New Day Pod was a great time. The episode with the Usos where they didn't know what twins were was hilarious. That's fair. Hey, Jeff. All it may become Bucks versus ENC versus Motor City versus New Day. Shame that the FTR... I don't know if they'll go that crazy. And yeah, PJC, I'm with... I'll get back to that tag situation here in just a moment. Makes the show important to watch. If nothing ever happens on Collision, turns into Rampage pretty quickly, and that's exactly the point. And that's, remember the epic promos that Tony Storm did on Collision, and people started shitting on the fact that it was on Collision. There was a reputation of Collision being the B show for a very long time. And without moments like this, you're not going to get the A show out of it. Uh-oh. Just saw the fire back. Yeah, well, and Jay Quick, that's the other thing too. Yeah, like, hell, I got friends that haven't watched wrestling for years. I literally just message them that the Morrissey Machine Guns are back in AEW. And yes, Nats, I'll use back in AEW just for you. They had one match and 2 promos, so... here's the thing. And now that we have the Motor City Machine Guns back here, the opportunities are pretty much endless. In terms of what I think might happen, I still stand firm with a little bit of they were heels in their first run in AEW and it was weird. It was just they were brought in as a hitman team, basically. Gonna say back at AEW, technically, I'm gonna give the Nats gets the full credit about this because I completely forgot about their one match and 2 promos. I basically was not counting that as AEW, but sorry, I got a friend who actually made it to the Toronto Tempo game tonight, which is going to be a bloodbath as always. Then they took a 1-year vacation. Well, pretty much. That's where we get back into the discussion we were having yesterday about Triple H telling the fans not to shit on the booking so much. Focus on supporting the wrestlers and not worry about booking. And it just, how do I put this politely? Shut the fuck up, Triple H. Like, you're burying yourself every time you open your mouth. Whether it's not answering questions that actually mean something or just saying something really, really stupid. And yeah, that's essentially what he did. Tag division just got stronger. Wait till Woods and Cole. Well, that's the funny part. They've already showed up. But yeah, like, let's face it, we do have a great tag division regardless. And they're showing it right here. Like, the Rascals, I think they'll be a little bit more focused on trio now. I think we're getting at a point now where TK is going to be able to, at least for the next few months, work on having a trios division where trios people aren't necessarily working single, like regular tag team matches. That was pretty cool right there. A little ring around the rosy drop kick there, trio combination. As long as I wouldn't mind it if they give a nice. It doesn't necessarily need to be a long run, and honestly, these trios titles don't need a long run right now. I'd almost argue, and feel free to throw a comment in if you want otherwise. But the tag titles, the trios titles, I understand where the tag titles are right now, and they are doing it as much as the CNC Wrestling Factory are trying not to say it. It is a retirement tour for them right now. But these trios titles, oh my God. For fuck's sake, this is just beautiful out here. Like, this is absolutely freaking amazing what's going on in the ring right now. Like, the demand, the way they're doing it, like, this crowd's cheering regardless of whether you're a face or a heel. You're just doing great stuff. But when it comes to the trio styles, I would like to see him flip a few times with established teams. Just more for the fact that they could show out there that there are this many established teams here in AEW. Whether it be the Demand, whether it be the Rascals, whether it be the Conglomeration, whether it be the Death Riders, whether it be the Lethal Twist, which we're going to see Jay Lethal. Oh my God, here we go. Myron Reed just taking everybody out like a bunch of pinballs here. Hangman turn heel, you and the Bucks win the trio styles. I'm calling right now that Motor City and that's where I was going with this. Motor City and Hangman take on the Demand at All In. I think that would be a lot of fun. Got the knees in the back. Dang it. Booking team in WWE, they're heels now because they're portrayed on Unreal. I don't watch it, but the only thing I know about okay, and the Chelsea Green clips. Sorry, I didn't get through the whole thing because this match is pumping right now. Well, I know a lot of people here don't look at a lot of SRS and the stuff that he does. But SRS did have a report today that apparently, oh God. Desmond getting cracked there. What a hell of a match to start the night off. Apparently, a lot of the execs for Netflix were at Monday's Raw. The one that turned out to be garbage. And they are very concerned about where their money is. If you want to talk about a fatality, there's a fatality for you. And thank you, Mortal Kombat 2, being sponsored here. I love it when games... I love it when games and movies that are featured about games have broken through to the break over into the wrestling world. By the way, another great point if you haven't seen it yet tonight. They actually use some regular streamers to, like regular content creators fight. Oh, hold on. We'll go to the conglomeration here. Netflix execs yearn for more Danhausen, Joe Henry dance numbers.
Sir, no, sir!
Someone check the book bags. Leo could be around. Yeah. I love the fact that so they are actually using Continental Cup as an actual name. I love the fact we're going through the rundown here, but yeah, no, the Netflix executives apparently hated that segment. They hated the fact that Oba nearly killed a guy. Leo, Ishii, and Briscoe. That would be interesting to say the least. So I wonder what the... By the way, now they're calling it the C2 is the Continental Cup now because it's a lot easier to say. Instead of the Classic. DLW likes that combination, Jay Quick. I appreciate that. You know what? There are a whole bunch of different combinations. The demand would just hand the belts over. The only way I think they do that is if something like this happened. A little bit of that. I think it's going to be different too. I think they're going to change it up. I think they want something different than New Japan. Because they're literally carbon copying New Japan at this point. So, just a heads up, folks. We do have an ad break coming up momentarily. Unfortunately, I started late, so I couldn't get the 3 minutes of pre-ads for the first hour. So, we are officially half an hour in, and yeah, we're rolling. It's been a lot of fun so far. And thank you, everybody, for being around. Those that popped in earlier and maybe took off because everything was going up in flames. A quick reboot of the computer seemed to have fixed it. I did find a couple of the updates that need to be done. I'll do those after stream. There is no Backbreaker Pro tonight, just a heads up for everybody who's asking. Backbreaker Pro would be Backbreaker Pro will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain. We are going to have qualifying matches for a match on Wednesday to determine who AWS's opponent's going to be for Crossfire coming up on the 9th of October. Or August. October. And yeah, the PLE is pretty much set. We announced last night that it's going to be Andre C. and Ludwig Kaiser taking on the team of Walker Pipe Guy and R-Truth during our pre-show, which is going to start at around 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a 1-hour pre-show before our tournament. This Wednesday, we're going to determine the match order for the Forged by Fire Championship tournament. We got four regular quarterfinals, 2 underground matches for semifinals, and an Inferno match for the finals. So it's going to be a little bit crazy going on here. And I guess tonight I can also formally announce that it's going to be Looks and Loggers versus Heroes Among Us on the pre-show as well, which is Fallen Valkyrie and Velvet, the 4 women that didn't make the playoffs. They're going to be... So they're not doing the C2? Oh my. There's going to be some crap going on now. Oh my. I don't mind it. We're going to get some sick matchups either way. But we aren't getting the round robins. You know what this might tell me right now? We might get the women's C2. And here's... Okay, so we're getting a 16 person elimination tournament for the Continental Cup. The other thing is they're also booking the C2 into a bit of into a corner with that, right? I'd rather use that for a C2 for a world title shot myself. But what do you guys think? That's a bit of a bombshell that just dropped. The fact that they're going to just a 16-person tournament. Once again, I do feel that it's possible that we're going to go... We're going to go to a C2 for the women. Or maybe a C2 for the tags. It'll be by different name, of course, but you know what it'll be. Makes the Continental Championship relevant? Yeah, like... And the fact that they're going to be... Everybody was asking, what's Moxley going to be doing it All In? Well, we found out. And Styles, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. How you feeling tonight? Motor City Machine Guns at AEW officially announced off the top of the show. We just watched Jericho try and use a drill bit on a guy's head. All right. Oh, Camarado, I'm so sorry. Camarado's good as dead. The sandpaper was crazy. Absolutely it was. Wouldn't surprise me that Ciampa still has the sandpaper taped to his head. Yeah, Motor City Machine Guns are AEW. They got the graphic and everything tonight, so they didn't do much more than that. I got a feeling we'll see a little bit of that in Mexico. Maybe they'll make their debut there. Wouldn't surprise me if that actually is where we do the debut. Ciampa going a little batshit crazy on Camarado. This is what Psycho Killer is all about. Styles, we talked about this earlier, and it makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't you do it on Collision? Like, you gotta put some, if you want to make a show relevant, you gotta have relevant moments. It's the same thing what happened when Toni Storm made her big promo. Basically revealing that she was no longer the amnesiac thought they would have appeared yesterday than wrestled today, but yesterday's show had so much, I don't know where it would. My opinion, with everything going on, let's talk to Hangman, then I'll break it down for you guys. It made a lot of sense why they did what they did. Okay. The missing link shirt on Brody. Ooh. Oh, that's great. The good, the bad, the ugly. Who's the ugly one? I love when they use that joke. So, if they would have done the Motor City Machine Guns debut last night, I think all that we would have been talking about from the night probably would have been the debut. Or if we didn't, it would sort of take the steam off of the debut. I think unless something monumental happens tonight, the thing we're going to talk about from Collision tonight is the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns. And I think we'll get a lot of good stuff here. So, can we get a females cup as well? Absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. If they're going to do this, either do a women's or a tag. I prefer a women's. Does Tony Khan have the guts to do that, though? That's the thing. Because that means he has to put on 6 women's matches a week on TV. And I think he's trying to get away from the C2 the way it is a little bit. Because, one, when it comes to AEW, it's got to cover 5 weeks. And that basically takes up the entire 5 weeks, which I find that time of year it actually is a bonus. But Tony said on commentary that C2's returning. Well, we'll see. Because half the time Tony's so senile that he wouldn't think about. He doesn't even know. Think you need to build up the women's tag division after All In? I think they need to build up the women's tag division, period. To be honest. I like TK. He does small streamer pot. Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, and this is the other big announcement that dropped today. That my AEW, the streaming service, has a lot more free content on there than it was before. No Diamante Soul entrance? No, this is a faction. It's Athena's faction with her minions. Diamante's officially a minion, so all three of them come out together. Yeah, and the other one, and I put a post out there because I heard some people were actually trying to tell me that wasn't a big announcement for Adam Copeland being part of MLPW. Maple Leaf Pro, for those that don't know, they're essentially their WrestleMania show, Northern Rising. They're doing it in the old home of the Toronto Maple Leafs, known as the Matme Center. People need to realize there is no more somewhat bootlegs AEW pay-per-views in it. With all due respect, as a content creator myself, I can't bring myself to do anything like that. Honestly, Styles, because if I was in that position, I wouldn't want to put myself in that position. I wouldn't want people ripping me off, which did happen to me back in 2019. But yeah, when it comes to MLPW, there was a show that we had a pay-per-view set up for that people put on the dark web. It actually ended up trending in Canada. It was essentially a subscriber-only pay-per-view on this Twitch channel before I took it over solely. And yeah, I found it a couple hours into a 5-hour show. It was already being re-put on a dark web. So, yeah, I got a little ripped off, so I don't... If at all possible, I do believe people should pay for it, but I don't force that on anybody because let's just face it. I'm not going to change a lot of people's minds, but you're just not going to change mine about it. I love that Maple Leaf Pro is archived. They have a lot of free content available on there. Athena got the nice kick in on Jamie. You know what? Just throw the match out already. Oh, God. Well, Billy's dead. Windsor's dead. Maple Leaf Pros do well. Absolutely. The first few shows. I didn't watch last night's. I ended up doing some editing and stuff, and I just lost track of time. I got to get back and watch it. I'll probably watch it after we're done here tonight. But the fact that they're getting a chance to... All these places are getting on the same channel. All these independent promotions are having their product in one area for everybody to check out. And, yeah, one of the funniest parts, how to get discovered in terms of a promotion. For example, one of the promotions that I worked on our on-demand site We actually got picked up by Progress before things went stupid. We were on Progress on Demand for a little while there for some of our stuff. It all came down to one wrestler's name because it sounded very unique. They found someone named Taryn from accounting as one of the local wrestlers here, and they liked that, so they kept the show on their channel. So Force Pro Wrestling was a part of the on demand for Progress. So tip of the cap for me, I guess. Did AEW stay on late last night? The overrun was 32 minutes. We were on till 10:32 Eastern last night. The last 20 minutes was the promo between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Honestly, last night, and for those who are watching, feel free to chime in. I think last night was the best post-pay-per-view Dynamite that they've ever had. I don't want to say that it was better than the pay-per-view, but I will say that Maya World did a hell of a job there. So do I understand there's a C... It's not a C2 Cup. It's a Continental Cup. So this Continental Cup is actually a tournament, and then a regular C2. I don't know if that's going to be for the championship, or is it going to be for another one, right? Okay. PJC, you brought this up earlier, and I glossed over it, and now it makes a lot more sense. They have a New Japan Cup as well as a G1, where the New Japan Cup is an 16-person elimination tournament, followed by the G1, which is hell on earth for 12 wrestlers. Yeah, crowd was absolutely amazing last night, and I heard it was even louder than what it was portrayed on TV live at the venue. So shout out to the Detroit crowd. Honestly, they earned themselves a pay-per-view at Little Caesars. Hey, Demand, shine up those belts. You're losing them next week. That would be interesting. I don't think they will. I think the gelling that between Hangman and Brodito is going to be a little off. I've got a weird feeling about that one. Nigel wants it. Well, Nigel wants a match in Wembley, right? Like, I'm assuming it's going to be Moxley versus. And I love the venue they're running in. AEW running these smaller, unique venues. Remind me of 2000 East. Absolutely. And the fact that TK is resisting the idea of getting those bigger arenas. If he could fill 4,000 a show, 4,500. Like, the only real exception to him ever running bigger shows is, like, over in Europe, where they never get out to. Or here in Canada, where they literally don't have any other venues to run. Like, honestly, here in Edmonton, the venue that TNA runs, I wouldn't want AEW in there. Just because I probably wouldn't be able to get a ticket. Because I think they're bigger than that venue. The pay-per-views still go to NHL, NBA. Yeah, for the most part. Cameraman, get the fuck off the apron. What the fuck is this guy doing? Has this guy never done wrestling before? Tony's got to be screaming into his headset right now. Get the hell off the apron. Tag him in. Like, he should be on the floor covering this splash. Like, what the? Vince would be losing his shit right now. Granted, it's a hell of an angle. I will say that. But for a tag match? And the guy can't even... Hazuki can't even get in the ring because the damn cameraman's in the way. Oh, block. The headset stories are great, yeah. Frig count, you moron. Or are you actually trying to remember who the actual... I love how Nigel brings that up because he wants to see more title matches, and I agree with him. Oh, God. The fact that Hazuki wants to work more in North America is absolutely awesome. The guy's up on the ring apron wondering why the hell is he here? Because you literally take that corner and just leave it. Nobody can use it. Like, as you're going through with a 6-person tag, you literally can't use that corner. Because that dumbass is up there. Oh, look who's coming out. They don't have the hockey jerseys on. They mean business tonight. Either that or they're completely pissed about how... Unless they're completely pissed about all of us saying that we want the jerseys. So is Suzuki going to get any help here, or is this... Yeah, good old body slam, never hurt anybody. Come on now. Just a little bit of insanity right there. Just, just plugging in the way they always do. I want stock in Megan Bain's tape company, by the way. Because whoever's supplying the tape for Megan right now deserves a raise. And not that raise, you sickos. Now, this upcoming Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. So, I love Shivani. Like, old senile man gets the cards out of order. Makes a lot of sense. I assume that's the main event, Fletcher and Speedball. Shout out to the double-sided tape.
seems like we have no other option but to accept your little challenge and put you boys down. Ooh. And you know what? Speaking of Bro Dino, I heard their boy Commander has big dreams of wrestling at Grand Slam Mexico. Fat chance.
Oh, here we go.
After our match, Commander, not only am I gonna crush you, but I'm gonna crush those dreams as well.
Are they doing that right now or what? Oh, the ice bucket. No. I mentioned earlier tonight. Backbreaker Pro will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain. So if you guys are interested in checking out some of our eFed, we're gonna have qualifiers for a. Rhino of all things. Fuck SmackDown. Well, I'll give you an hour. Nats, I don't think you're on the show because you already have your title match coming up on the pay-per-view, right? Oh, they got the ICP back. Let's go. And by the way, Rhino's come out and literally said he is trying to get on the All-In card. Wouldn't surprise me if he's in that gauntlet match. The ICP, it's interesting because they have this show right now, but JCW's on live right now, so we got a little bit of Inception right now. ICP and Rhino, where's Tommy Dreamer? No, if you're going to do this, you do it with Rhino or with RVD. Because he's from Battle Creek. That's got to be near here. So they challenged, who was it? Tom Hardy. Rhino being in full gear is pretty awesome. JCW, AEW deal would be big. Well, bro, let me tell you, bro. My God, my social media, like, I don't want it, but the Coach and Bro show, the clips, it's all the recommended video for me to watch. And my God, Russo is all over this meeting here tonight with the ICP and Tony Khan. Oh, they're doing the 8-man tag next. Okay. So are they doing Garcia? They must be doing Garcia and Ospreay as the main. Mike is a Russo head.
Sir, no, sir!
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
Never! Never! Never!
Yeah. Maybe that'll help you out with that one. That's just to make it perfectly clear. And Pangolin, 25 streams in a row. My God, the queen of the Lurk Squad is here. And I appreciate you being here. It always makes me feel good to see everybody popping in here. Especially, I love being the people that, especially the people that, they just want to enjoy what they're hearing. And I've gotten a lot. I'm just going to be real for a sec, guys. Sorry, just don't want to go too crazy here, but I've received a lot of personal messages from a lot of people about different things regarding how much they enjoy the stream and how much they enjoy being here. And for all the times that things might be up, down, and otherwise, you guys saying that does do a lot for me here. So I really do appreciate you guys, guys and girls, always hanging around here. We get silly, we get stupid, we have fun. We have seasons in the sun. And if you're that old to remember that, but I do need to go back up a little bit here. And Logan, good to see you tonight. TLW, I owe you one of these. We're talking about Rhino being in full gear. You enjoy Jim Cornette's podcast? That's fine. I couldn't stand The only time I can stand Cornette is when I have him lined up from 500 feet away with a paintball gun in my hand. That's about it. So, Rhino was best friends with ENC maybe right after they go all in 3-man titles. Could see Rhino did say in an interview with local media that he would like to either perform against or with CNC Wrestling Factory. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I'd love to see Rhino get a couple spots here and there. There are enough wrestlers around here that need spots, so I'd prefer them getting them. But if Rhino comes in for a few shots, I don't mind that. And yeah, Logan, enjoy having you here, as well as Pangolin. Appreciate it. Don't really follow sports, but I enjoy you all talking about them and wrestling. I've always treated this, and I've always promised myself that I always wanted to treat this like we're sitting in a bar and watching wrestling together. Like when we were doing our sponsorship with Beercade here in town. It's just people that are enjoying wrestling. Just talk about wrestling. We can go off in a different direction. It's not the worst thing in the world, but eventually bring it back in here. So it's one thing I've always tried to promise myself that we keep this as. So don't mind Cornette as a historian. Don't really listen about Kurt wrestling though. Yeah, like this is pretty awesome right here. Looking for a fucking autograph on Moxley's entrance? That guy should just... Yeah. Jake Paul promotion, the PFL merged. I really need to find a button where the word meh comes in. Because that's pretty much what I feel about that. Doing well, looking forward to SummerSlam. Meh. Honestly, after Monday being as piss poor as it was, this is probably one of the least interesting SummerSlams that I've seen in a while. Don't ask... Mox will give you an autograph, just not while he's doing his entrance. Posted a cool link in the Discord. Uh-oh. Oh, this guy. Yeah, well, you got to remember, like, that promo that the Bucks and... was it the Bucks and CNC Wrestling Factory did on Wednesday, talking about revolutionizing the tag team division, changing things up. Which team has done that more than anybody else? Well, let's put it this way. There's 3 generations of people that have done it. And thank you for the lurk once again. Appreciate it. No, Nats, not the Briscoes. Before the Briscoes were the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, the Motor City Machine Guns gave the Bucks their opportunity as Generation Me in TNA. Like, that, there are 3 different generations of teams that defined tag team wrestling. The last 3 generations. The Bucks in this generation, the generation before was the Motor City Machine Guns, and the generation before that, realistically, it could be 3 teams. The Hardys, the Bucks. The Hardys, CNC Wrestling Factory, and the Dudleys. They truly define what tag team wrestling really was. But these last 2 generations, it is clear who is there. I love that Robinson's gone back to the rock hard gimmick. Oh no, that's what I meant. The third generation before, CNC Wrestling Factory, as they're known now. Well, at least we call them that here. I'm getting that name over. I don't care what anybody says. I am getting that name over. You have to no, you don't. Well, honestly, you don't, Nats. And here's the reason why. If you're throwing the Briscoes in there, you have to assume... And don't get me wrong, the Briscoes were an absolutely amazing tag team. Don't equate generational from absolutely brilliant. There is a difference here. And the biggest difference, the Briscoes were ROH. The Bucks went to Japan. The Bucks were in TNA. They got out there. People around the world saw who they were. The Briscoes were ROH. Everybody had to come to them. And a lot of that, like, I hate to say it, but a lot of it is political why that happened. We all know that's why the Bucks or the Briscoes weren't on TBS until after Jay died, right? They did do Japan, but how much? They weren't regulars. They didn't actually go to Japan. They toured once in a while. The Briscoes were the definition of ROH, and they built ROH, absolutely. But here's the thing. If we're going to talk about Steiner's, Midnight Express, those teams, we're going back another generation before ENC, the Dudleys, and the Hardys. That's even a further generation back. And the other part about that, and I'll get back to your comment here in a second, Logan. If the Briscoes are simply going to work and be the definition of Ring of Honor, when outside of the diehards, not many people knew about Ring of Honor. It's the equivalent of being the best wrestler in your local town. Or you're that baseball player that always hit the home run but never made it past AA. I'm not saying that they're that, like, they were the caliber to move on, but they didn't. I'm not trying to say whether they were or they, like, how good they were, because they were absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. Just like all 8 people in this match, like, there is so much there in terms of talent. But when it comes to the Steiners and the Midnight Express, I'll go to that category now because that's a little different. And this is no fault to the wrestlers once again. But there is one simple problem, especially for the Steiners. Not so much the Midnight Express, because the Midnight had the ability to get around it. Nobody gave 2 craps about tag team wrestling in that era. And I'm talking pre-Attitude Era. That's where the Steiners were. They were the New Generation era and before, right? Whether you're talking about the NWA, the pre-WCW, the pre-WC, the pre-NWO, WCW, or any of these other organizations, nobody really gave 2 shits about the tag teams. And the Road Warriors were, if the Road Warriors were there, they got the Road Warrior pop. And that's exactly where we're going with it here. And Midnight was there. Mid-South, yeah. But we're starting to get to the point now where we're starting to talk about wrestlers that just won't be able to do it anymore, merely because they're either aged out or, well, they're completely aged out, for lack of a better term. So I'll just... The key thing when it comes to being a generational team is you have to be able to get that generational exposure. You're able to work out there and get that exposure. And you have to have somebody in charge who actually gives a crap about what you do. Like, I'll change it over to a sports analogy here. And, like, Jackie Robinson is one of the best players on the planet, but the reason he's considered generational is Branch Rickey decided to give him a chance to get out there and actually show what he could do. There are plenty of players, and if you guys play MLB The Show, there is an entire section of that game dedicated to people who weren't able to get the same chance that Jackie Robinson did. You have to be able to have the ability to get out there to present yourself to become a generational player. And sometimes that's a fault of your own for not wanting to get out there. Sometimes that roadblock just simply is in front of you, where a promoter just will not back you up. And I say promoter in this sense, we could be talking about coach or whatever, GM. But yeah, in terms of the most revolutionary wrestlers, I would say, in the last 30 years, in terms of the tag team division, you're looking at the Bucks, you're looking at the Motor City Machine Guns, and you're looking at ENC. There are a lot of great tag teams involved in between. FTR didn't come big till they got away from the Fed, and that's the thing. They are an excellent tag team. Generational-wise, you could almost say they reestablished what generational tag team wrestling was all about, what the Midnight Express was all about, what tag team wrestling was meant to be. And they do it in spades, and they're one of the best to ever do it. But let's bring up Razor Blades in the Shower, and I think you can understand why they don't get on that same level. And here's a tough one for me to say. Like, everybody's talking about the New Day coming in, right? Kofi and Creed. They're doing a selection special for this cup? Okay. We need a graphic. I can't understand Tony when he's mumbling too much. Like, the New Day, in some ways, I hate to say this, but in many ways, the tag run that they had... Oh, Monday at 9, okay. So, in other words, basically during Raw. And essentially during Big Cass's debut. Let's call a spade here. They're going to be doing it during Big Cass's debut. But yeah, the New Day, like, it's the same thing happened to Liv Morgan. Like, Liv, they actually put up a graphic today for an interview. 100 days of champion, 0 title defenses. And yeah, that's the same thing. I love Chris Hero to death. And Claudio, well, Claudio has always been a Superman and always will be. But they were a top team in basically the third-rate division. And that's more on the promoter than it is on, like I said, it's more of a promoter thing than it is an actual wrestler thing. Like, if CM Punk never came to WWE, would you ever consider him in the level that he is? Some people don't consider him in the level that he is right now, but I'll throw that out there. Tyler Black, he was at that level, but he didn't get that level until he didn't get to the level that he is without getting to WWE, getting that exposure. I think the only person to truly be that generational man right now, level of hypocrite. Well, yeah, there's a lot of that. Oh God, they actually hit the 310 to Yuta on Claudio. Hot damn. To me, Punk is a level of somebody who believes his own hype very well and has enough talent to at least back it up to be justifiable. Like I said, to be justifiable. I'm not saying that he's the best, but same thing with Tyler Black. Like, he is the definition of a WWE wrestler. Fosbury flop and cranks Moxley here. Like, I'd have to say, the only person that I would consider, like, literally the only two people that we could consider generational in AEW that literally have changed the game, there's two of them. And they're running the main event of All In this year. Juice sneaks the pin, even though he screwed up the cover. And Yuta eats another fall. Now, do we get Jay White out here? Do we get the Morrissey Machine Guns out here? MJF is he's not there yet. He'll get, my opinion, he gets there. Oh no, this is where we get the return. There they are. We knew they were going to get inserted somewhere, and this seems to be the good spot for it. The Dogs versus the Motor City Machine Guns to start. I believe this is the term we use for that. Like, we got Dogs and Death Riders. Moxley's like, nah, we're done for today. Shafir's like, I'm not wearing tights tonight. Calm your ass down. Moxley's like, let them have their moment at home. Attaboy, Finley. Gotta give him credit for taking that 310 to Yuma. See, now they got to do it like this. So it looks like 7, but, you know. The Dogs versus the Machine Guns, that, to me, smells like money. Uh-oh, Ciampa's pissed. Claudio Pack versus Morrissey Machine Guns could be good. Absolutely. Is that what we're getting on Wednesday? Ooh. Andrade versus Tommaso on Wednesday for the #1 spot in the gauntlet. And the chair goes flying. Let's go. Old school and ready to go. Oh, and here comes Statlander. Stat Daddy back. I got the shenanigans button ready to go. I haven't had to use the shenanigans button because we haven't had anything during the match yet. Everything's been after. And this will be about 4 minutes. Shout out to Maya World. If you guys weren't here last night, we were watching this TBS title match. Yes, it ended with shenanigans. But this probably is the most clean match that we've seen. Oh. If you guys watched Maple Leaf Pro last night, that is the corner mate of Rohan Raju, the PWA Champions Grail holder. Shout out to Maple Leaf Pro once again. Oh, shit. We're getting 2 women's matches in Mexico. I think that's a one for a Dynamite. Folks, we're definitely going 2.5 hours tomorrow on Wednesday. So we're going to have another jam-packed night of action coming up. Because, yeah, that'll be our final Backbreaker Pro before Crossfire as well. Yeah, I'd have to assume it's going to be 2.5 hours. Grand Slam usually is. Credit to the balance of Tevez here, too. Like, holding Tevez up like that is a tremendous amount of strength by Statlander. But also the balance that that Tevez shows there is just absolutely amazing. And this is going to be done in a hurry. Thursday night special. I figured it'd be about 4 minutes. That was about a 2.5. Great job by Statlander here. Quick victory. That's going to be so much fun on Wednesday, those two. 2 powerhouses that know how to go. And Statlander's been doing a ton of work on the indie circuit right now. I think she had, what, a 20-minute match with Joey Janela just a couple weeks ago? That shirt on Bailey, like, seriously. Oh, here we go. They're not even following up on it. He offended Kyle. Oh, they're bringing him out here. Well, at least he doesn't have far to roll over that ramp. No, this match is going to be a lot of fun. Do I think Fletcher loses? No, I think it's going to be Okada and it's going to be Okada Fletcher at Wembley. It almost has to be. Oh, God. Speedball had shoes on. That's why. This is like an AI sequence for Bailey. He's always doing the same setup there. See, he had shoes on. That's why he couldn't hit it. It's all about them shoes. All right, well, he's losing. He's holding the title up. We all know that. Isn't that the way it works? Just a heads up, we do have an ad break here coming up in about 3 minutes' time. Over on the Twitch side. YouTube, you're made in the shade. But if you're on YouTube, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We've had a ton of people flying in here tonight. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here, whether you've been here for a few seconds or a few hours. We got Commander and Jay Lethal coming up after the break here. It is a very collision-worthy match, I think is the best way to put it. Almost the fact that you feel like some of these matches have a little less feeling as they go across. Oh, Jesus. Deebo Samuel signs with San Francisco. All right, cool. Football season is getting closer and closer all the time. That's why we know the Saturday pay-per-views are coming up sooner than later here. But this has been an amazing show so far, and I do hope Wednesday lives up to it. Just a quick heads up for you guys. I'll let you plan way in advance. This Saturday, of course, there's no show because of SummerSlam. But next Saturday, I will not be live for Collision. Fortunately or unfortunately, whatever way you want to call it. One of the members of the Backbreaker Pro roster is getting married, so the wedding's that day. So I will be supposedly trying to get into a suit and tie. Lord knows, see me in a suit is not a pretty sight. So, but either way, we won't be here on the Saturday. Sunday we'll be here with the BPW pay-per-view Crossfires. So we're gonna make up for it Backbreaker Pro style with what I'm assuming is going to be close to a 2.5 hour spectacular. Including the pre-show, I think it should probably land somewhere in the round of 2.5 hours, maybe 3. Because I'm just trying to get the commercials lined up and everything for it. So when we get going, we'll actually have like full. Like if you're going to have commercial breaks, we're going to have real commercial breaks here. We're not going to, like while Twitch is running, we'll have, while Twitch is running their breaks, we'll have some breaks here too. So try and run it like an actual real show. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the first full productions I've been trying to put together here. So, but yeah, in terms of AEW next Wednesday, it is going to be absolutely spectacular here with everything going on. And the match that they haven't really talked about a whole lot that they've signed for Arena Mexico is Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay. No outside interference. The rubber match between the two. And the fact that these two really want to work together a lot ever since their tag team days in New Japan as Aussie Open. And, well, what, the first ever All In? Weren't they? Oh, no, that was... No, the first ever All In, they were actually the main event of the pre-show.
Family is a family of world champions, past, present, and future. We want to issue a challenge to any former world champions that want to step to us three next week at Grand Slam Mexico.
Three former champions? I wonder who that... Chad, who's going to fill that in? Who's going to fill that spot in? It almost makes me wonder if we do Buddy Matthews in the New Day. I got a feeling that's going to be a surprise. That's going to be one of our major arrivals. Could you imagine? Woods probably was dying to say, "Look, I want one match with Okada. I don't care if it's a tag." But they got to be careful in that match too, because Hichisaro is the CMLL heavyweight champion. So, being that it is in Mexico, they do have to treat that belt very well. I love Commander. He always fits in such a great, lovable spot. There's some times where he hits some stuff and just... Three former world champions. Who are you thinking, DLW? Because I got a lot of ideas, but... all depends on what the world champion definition is, right? Because Hangman can be one. Because you know Hangman's going to be the most over in Mexico after the promo he did last year for Grand Slam. If you guys don't remember the opening promo for Grand Slam Mexico, he did completely in Spanish. So the crowd absolutely loved him and wanted him back sooner than he has been. Brody's never been a world champion. Been a world tag champ, yeah. And also Brody's occupied with the Demand on Wednesday. They haven't made it official, but yeah, there you got PWG. That's fair. Same difference. That's fair. I just wonder who you would do that with. That's all. Yeah, that's DLW. That's why I'm saying it won't be Brody in this case. Because yeah, it's Brodito and Hangman versus the Demand. We got a lot of trios matches, and honestly, that's really smart for Hangman or for Tony Khan going into All In. Especially this week, and you know, with the long travel and whatnot, getting people to work with each other. That yes, there's a ton of work rate. Yes, there's a ton of coordination, but in terms of physical toll on your body, it is a lot less. Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate. Shelton's one of the best people never to win a world title. Isn't that isn't that one of the monikers for Shelton? Is one of the best wrestlers to never win a world title? Like him and Arn Anderson and Kurt Hennig are sort of the same way. Yep, there's the Commander I know and love. Charles Barkley of wrestling, yeah. Scott Hall, absolutely. Damn. You know, sometimes he'll flub something and then all of a sudden He'll pull something like that off of just amazing. Like, Commander is the ultimate risk-reward wrestler in somewhat symbolized... Dusty, well, Dusty did win the world title. It was for 10 minutes, but he won the world title. Yeah, there's a lot of wrestlers that fit into that category. Hell, Dusty, they actually named a finish after that. Sting won the WCW world title numerous times, including one of the biggest fuck-ups ever in WCW history at Starrcade 97. If we all remember the Bret Hart thing, right? Nick Patrick calling this straight up. Oh, Braun's been doing that for a couple years now, the food show. He actually had Alexa Bliss on for one of the episodes. Good on him. Like, if he's changing around, like it... Braun's always been an entertainer. The problem always was he was typecast into the role that he was in. Because, well, he's big and Vince wants... Big means jacked, means, well, some other stuff that we don't want to think about when it comes to Vince McMahon. And therefore, he was always put into the big man situations. Like, there's a lot of intelligence there. And a lot of creativity. So, getting to do a food show like this, and let's face it, the wrestlers know how to pound down the calories. So I'm surprised I don't see more of this from established wrestlers. Indie wrestlers, well, they got to learn how to take chocolate bars and chips, and him, Brock, and Oba have a match. I saw Braun and Lesnar, or Braun and Lesnar. It really didn't turn out to be a whole lot. That was one of those Hell in a Cell matches that ended in a no contest. That's when the feud started with that, because he broke the cage, right? Question for you. Had an opportunity to go WWE or AEW backstage. What wrestler, if you... That's it. Ronnie, I appreciate the question. To be honest, I used to work in indie wrestling here, so there are some wrestlers that are backstage at some of these shows that I have actually been able to have conversations with. So, chat, feel free to answer on your end. It's not fair for me to answer on mine because I've already had the opportunity. I don't need... And every interaction I've had, I've appreciated, so... Only met a handful of wrestlers? Yeah, well, the thing is, remember, from 2015 to 2020, I was working almost every show in Alberta for a better part of 5 years. You get a tendency to know a few people as you go through, right? It was the PWA, RCW, MPW, CWC, PPW. Worked one match for one show for PWA here in it. Basically, if you look up Alberta Wrestling, from 2015 to 2020, we were the ones that covered it. We were the ones that got a bunch of video for it. Over on our YouTube channel, we do have a lot of classic wrestling videos from that time. I worked as a podcaster, videographer, commentator. All a part of Backbreaker Video here. So, like I said, if you check out our... Yeah, there's the official trios announcement. So, basically, Backbreaker Video was the TSN for... yeah, I'll pay them money for that. My God, Commander has perfect timing on that. Every once in a while, I'll have a horrible spot, and then all of a sudden he pulls something like that. Cage Copa, the Young Bucks versus the Death. Oh, God. The only to pay wrestling I've ever been to is Primal Conflict Wrestling in West Virginia. Hey, you know what? You've been out there. I hope you had a positive experience. I know Nats is in Virginia, so he's in the relative area. I'm from Canada, so it's a little bit off, so... Commander going for his finisher here. Hit it! VCW and rest in peace DPW. Yeah. It sucks when promotions have to close, but... I don't know if Commander shocks the world. He gets a victory over Jay Lethal. It's the battle of the jobbers here. Yes, and I hate that term that we use for that. I like working for all of them. All of them have their positives. All have their negatives. I won't go into a dissertation about who I hate, who I like, and all that stuff. So it's Commander, Andrade, and Tommaso for that number one spot. There's always people that you can't stand in the world, right? But yeah, I won't... I'm not going to be the person that comes in here and starts shooting on different companies. I have different opinions on different things. And honestly, giving out those comments about ones that I don't like to work for, all that does is come back to bite you in the ass later. It's not really anything really worth... I'm not the gossip guy. I don't want to start the gossip. I just appreciate the opportunity to work wherever I get to work. So there are some that I prefer compared to others, but the only person who really needs to know that is myself. Because guess what? Guess what I like more than anything else? But as per tradition, as we come close to our main event here, which might actually finish the show on time tonight, we give you a little bit of rundown what's going to be going on the channel here in the next week here. Tomorrow night, we're not having Backbreaker Pro tonight. It will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have 2 qualifiers for who's going to be taking on AWS in the world title over at Crossfire. Those winners of those qualifiers are going to meet up at next week's episode of Evolution, which will be on next Wednesday after Grand Slam Mexico. And then in our main event tomorrow, we do have Looks and Loggers, Morgan Cross and Vivian Sinclair taking on Ophelia Payne and Snow Penguin in a Hell in a Cell match. These ladies have been going at it for a better part of a month. No Holds Barred seem not to solve anything with these two, so it looks like we're going to have to finish things off in Hell in a Cell. Sunday and Tuesday are TBA. No stream on Saturday. Enjoy SummerSlam. Day 1 might be better than day 2. Not 100% sure. I haven't even looked what's on day 1, what's on day 2, but I might be on Sunday with a little MLB The Show. We're going to try and do some MLB after Backbreaker Pro tomorrow. Next Wednesday, we will be here for Grand Slam Mexico as well as a BPW Evolution. And then, just as a reminder, coming up on the 9th. And by the way, Thursdays, we're getting into Halo. It's been a hell of a lot of fun so far. Halo Campaign Evolved, we got started today. It was a hell of a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, August 9th, Crossfire. We have our first match graphic officially announced here. It's going to be a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the BPW World Tag titles for that matter. The North American Connection, Seth Ross and Nick Ontario, taking on Game Time Will Jackson and Hoju, taking on the champions, the Premier Champion Experience, the Retro Balls, Zodiac and MCG. Pre-show is going to be on at 6 p.m. Eastern, main card at 7. Marina's coming out to ringside for some reason. But as always, folks, whether you've been lurking, whether you've been chatting, you're always appreciated here. And I'm looking forward to see what we're going to have going in the future. Tonight has been flipping awesome having you here. You notice Will's gone back to the normal gear? It was funny because we were talking about him getting some brand new gear with the Death Riders logo on it. And he literally used it once. And you notice he's gone from all black to black and white again. It's a subtle detail that we've been talking about on the channel here, and it's been a very good point that you guys have brought up. Like, if you watched Osprey on Sunday at the pay-per-view, his gear was black on moss green, which is pretty much black with any kind of sweat on it. Now he's starting to bring a little bit of light back to his life, so this makes a little bit more sense here. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun here. But Danny's going to have to live up. Like, the Death Riders taking 2 L's in Detroit. Well, I guess Marina's not in the huddle because she's out at ringside with the belt. I remember when we considered Daniel Garcia can't miss. In many ways, he still could be, right? He could be somebody that absolutely could be the next big thing. Just the way you need to book it, right? So after Will killed Danny in the alley, he gets a one-on-one match. Nice. Well, Danny wants a piece of Will. Simple as that. Hit him with a hidden blade and finish it. Oh. I love Garcia with this start. As soon as the bell rings, just dead. This is when the fucking guy's on the ring apron again. All right. Oh, Hinder's at TNA. Awesome. Hope he's having a great time. I hope, whether you're watching AEW or we're watching TNA tonight, I hope you're having a great night. Like the Elegance brand versus Demon X Bunny would be a lot of fun to watch. He's actually worried about Detroit saying a very bad word to Danny Garcia. Oh, Temple University, yeah, in Philly, right? I saw a lot of BSing back and forth that the ticket numbers were almost even for these two shows. He's got an Osprey jersey on, so he's allowed to cheer like that. Who cares? Watch both. Well, I don't want to say shut up, but don't worry about the numbers. As far as I'm concerned, let the people that deal with those numbers worry about those numbers. Because, well, frankly, it's not out of my pocket. I just feel that the momentum of AEW, whether it's on a Thursday, whether it's on a... Been to 2 AEW shows at that arena, both for fun. I hope TNA does well. Yeah. I'm a consumer, not a provider. Well, we're not paying money for that, right? No, like it's... I'll be honest right now. In terms of a consumer, I'll go to TNA. I will go to... I'll go to AEW. Oh, shit! Mystico, Jericho, and Darby Allin. Okay. That's not what I expected, but all right. Using the fan as a support going over. I hate the fact that he's wearing a Grant Hill jersey, but I digress. But no, personally, like I said, I'll be frank, like we got a WWE house show coming up here in 3 weeks' time here. It's the week before All In. I think it's the 22nd. I honestly don't have any intentions on going. I find that it's overpriced and undervalued what's going on there, and I don't even know if there's going to be anybody there worth checking out, right? Raw and Dynamite are coming to town a few weeks apart. Cool. If you, like I said, I like to go. I like to get Norfolk's a regular spot for them. But yeah, in terms of WWE coming to town, like, yes, it's a house show. Yes, I shouldn't expect much, but I got to double check what tickets are, but I don't even think it's worth, like I said, I don't know if the tickets are worth going for it. Because if they're going to try to charge regular prices for a house show, like, come on, guys, what are we doing? Oh, God. There's some CFL news that, if you're a CFL fan, I just laugh right now. Because the Edmonton Elks are first in the West here. Every time Sami Zayn works Scope, he tweets my favorite venue of the year. I wonder if he does that for more venues than that. Definitely thought about it since I'm a big Hardy Boys fan, but I have some work stuff going on that it's difficult for me to take time off work right now. Philly's about 1.5 hour. Okay, that's fair. Like, I know November 15th, Destination X is coming up here to Edmonton, so probably going to go to that. And if I remember, that's the same weekend as Full Gear. So the only thing that's keeping me back from there is I can't book that weekend off from work, because I usually book the day after a pay-per-view off, because, well, TK likes to run his shows till 3 in the morning and I work the next morning technically. So TNA surprisingly never ran Norfolk. Could be a million different reasons for that too, right? as we come back from the break here. Once again, this is going to be nice, the fact that we're going to be done on time tonight. And that's one thing we do find about Collision for those that are watching for one of the first times here. Collision typically won't have that much of an overrun compared to Dynamite. Because let's face it, whatever's on Dynamite, what's on after Dynamite, a lot of people don't. Saw the Hardy Boys twice at AEW, one of those times the Lucha Lycura Center. So you got to see that. Yeah, when TNA was last here, the Hardy Boys lineup, it was so long that if you didn't have a pre-ticket for it, you were done. You didn't get a shot, period, at it. Moxley's got no words about potentially facing Nigel. Oh, he's shaking hands. Okay. In Sky Coperia, there's a picture of Jim Crockett. Well, that's the same thing. Like, I think there's a picture of Vince and Hogan in Madison Square Garden too, right? Like your biggest draws in history. And as much as you can talk about how creepy everything was with Vince, they did make history there. So shout out to AJ with a flying forearm. It's funny. He said, Paul White, give Daddy Garcia some credit. And White just literally, no, I don't get a word in. Magnum had so, yeah, well. And that's why, we were talking about this earlier with MJF being a generational talent. And, yeah, I agree. He's on his way there. But I don't want to account for anything like that. I don't want to jinx anything. Oh, here comes the King of the Y button. Oh my God, the King of the Y button got Y buttoned. If you guys are new here and don't know what that means, King of the Y button refers to Will Ospreay being able to reverse everything. Because the Y button is the Xbox button for reversal for 2K26. A few minutes from his house, yeah. Marina's going to come down here to the ring and show Danny what to do right away. This is a hell of a main event here. And this is a typical Collision main event. A match you normally wouldn't expect. But a match that's actually really, really good. You're always in more dangers at places you go than places you don't. Yeah. What's that phrase? Most accidents happen within 30 minutes of your home? Which makes sense because you're driving there more. I love when Moxley's like trying to say that this is actually a smart move. Well, Danny's, you can say goodnight to him right there. Well, they said beautiful reversal on that Dragon Tamer. But once again, the story with Ospreay is, can he pull the trigger? Oh my God, rolls her back over again. Shout out to the Moxley Bulldog. Garcia pulls his victory out, you know. That will be the ultimate. Reverse, reverse. Oh, God. That kick is just amazing from Ospreay. What a performance by Garcia tonight. Like, seriously. So... Ospreay even pointing to the camera to say, hey, take a look at this. No, Garcia's got Ospreay eyes. And there's that hidden blade out of nowhere. That is a video game finish right there. Literally unload the hidden blade, spin out, crank it, and he pulled the trigger. Garcia grabbing Remsburg, thinking he's Ospreay. That was pretty awesome right there, that shot. Great performance by both players. Both wrestlers, both contenders. Now, what are we going to get here? This crowd's into it. But that promo last night, like between Ospreay and Omega, like that gives you chills some days. Oh, look who showed up. I was wondering why that was running a little long, but that makes a lot of sense. They're going to fight all the way to Mexico. This could be the opening contest for Mexico. Well, I hope that crowd's not... Oh, God. We're going to have a brawl in the crowd to finish... Dog Callis eats corn the long way. Move your fucking sign, bud. It's carpeted, though. Can't be that bad if it's carpeted, right? Sometimes you just don't have any excuses. You just have to go for it. Ospreay going to get worn out for 3 straight weeks going into... Well, here's your trigger pulled. He's going to get so freaking paranoid by the time we get to the pay-per-view, which might not be the worst thing in the world. What? So what do we got now? All right, well. Well, now he's got a new catchphrase, do or die. So technically, even if anybody from the Don Callis family does show up, it's not a DQ. So, I'm a little upset that we got Mystico, Jericho, and Darby as the three world champions team. Of course, Tony Khan's got to confirm it right now. What else is he going to do? Now, here's the important question. What do they do with the guns now? Like, we got the Gun Club and the Motor City Machine Guns on the same show. I think for the most part, that's going to be our going away point. A lot of great wrestling tonight. A lot of great points coming up tonight. A lot of great matches filled out for Grand Slam Mexico on Wednesday. Trios titles being defended by the Demand, which turned out to be a great match with the Rascals. Establishing a first rivalry for the Motor City Machine Guns, who are now all elite. I love this little point from Deporticus. And this is a very good point before we wrap things up here. Isn't it great that AEW fans have just collectively realized that what chants are no longer kosher in AEW? To me, that's an absolute fantastic point. And I love the fact that it's actually happened. So, all in all, tonight, once again, another great show. I love watching Collision every single week, even if it is on a Thursday. And sometimes you got to skip around. Sometimes you got NASCAR. It does get beaten up a little bit in terms of the logistics behind it. But whenever we get a chance to watch, it actually turns out to be a really great show. And I think the only people that truly do complain about great stuff happening on Collision are the people that never watch Collision in the first place. And just don't want to. So, and to those people, I just, what's I want to do here? I'll do one of those. And a lot of this. Yeah, that's what I consider a lot of people that don't, that are complaining about Collision actually having very telltale moments in here. Like, a lot of people were complaining earlier this week that the title matches didn't make a lot of sense for yesterday's show. If you watch Collision, they did. Just saying. But with that being said, this is a Thursday night. This is everybody else's non-normal night for wrestling. So we're going to wrap things up here right now. We will, I'll send you guys off on a little raid ski here as we send things away here. Probably send you guys over to Walker. We will be back tomorrow with Backbreaker Pro. Just seeing if anybody else is on right now we want to send things over to, because I'm not normally on a Thursday. As we... Minnie's on for a little bit. I'll send you guys over to Minnie. Is she going to take off, or is she sticking around a little bit?
So, it's always cool whenever you think you're not doing enough or not making an impact. I'm not.
All right, I'm going to send you guys over to Minnie. She's doing a great job, as always, here. And once again, everybody, let's get the outro music going here. It's always a pleasure having you around. Whether you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on YouTube, the follow on Twitch. And... yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with Backbreaker Pro exclusively on Twitch. And for each and every one of you, whether you've been lurking, whether you've been chatting, or just looking for a great time, you're always appreciated. And always remember to be part of the solution. And we'll see y'all here next time on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. Take care, everybody.